Punzalan, and today I will be reading an excerpt from my essay, A Small Fish Lost in a Deep Ocean, talking about how I managed to overcome obstacles when I first moved in the United States about 3 years ago. It was in 8th grade. I can still remember the first day I entered school. I was nervous and excited because it was my first time attending a school where everyone spoke English. My first mission was to find my homeroom to get my class schedule. I hesitated to ask anyone around me because I knew that my ability to speak English was limited. At that moment, fright started to take over the feeling of excitement. I felt as if I were a small fish, lost in a deep ocean. I had no idea where to go. I had no one to talk to. I was alone. Then I realized that waiting was not going to help me. It took me great effort to ask a lady where to find my homeroom. My heart was beating fast, my voice was shaking, my eyes were watery. In the end, I managed to see my new teacher, a short, beautiful woman with a small flat nose, waiting by the door. I started breaking down into tears, feeling so accomplished that I was able to speak up in English to help myself. Yes, in English. English is something I hardly used back in the Philippines. At home, my grandmother and I spoke Tagalog, my first language, whenever we talked. My grandmother serves as my own mother since I grew up without my parents beside me. She was there to give me strength when things got rough. She was there to support me in everything I did. She would say, "Kaya mo yan, ikaw pa," which means you can do it in English. She might not be the most intelligent person to look up to, since she only received primary education. But she is my inspiration to become successful in every way. Then I took the first step towards success by visiting my school's library. Amazement took over my heart when I first came in. I had never seen books looking so brand new while resting calmly on shelves. The tables and chairs were standing next to each other. Those fancy computers waiting to be used. The room was astoundingly beautiful. And at the same time I was admiring the place, I also picked up a book entitled The Princess Diaries. Reading the first volume was extremely tough because of the strange words I encountered. I would have to find the meaning of those words from my gigantic dictionary to be able to understand a certain passage. Surprisingly, after the struggle of reading the first volume, I picked up the next one. Then the next one, then the next one. Growing up in a different country is a huge disadvantage for me to learn in school. I felt so small compared to students around me. I wanted to become a better person, so I tried to increase my vocabulary. In class, I listened carefully to every single word my teacher would say. When I got home, I looked up the few words I managed to remember. From that point of my life, I started feeling better and confident about myself because I knew I was improving. Just like right now, during last year's cafe reading, I was just sitting down and listening to every speaker. And now I am here, standing in front of many people and actually giving my own story. I never thought this day would come, but I'm glad it did. And now I can finally say that I have become a bigger fish in the ocean, feeling much better and much more confident about myself. I am not lost anymore. Thank you.